on, it's
Right.
like his account, and the dates don't.
Right. I think it was that Flora was waiting to get the statement from the bank, so that was just what they had sent online. But once she got the bank statement, it would have the canceled checks, et cetera, that would give you more information.
Right. So when is that supposed to take place?
Well, as soon as she gets the statement. So hopefully, it didn't come in today's mail, so hopefully it'll be in tomorrow or Tuesday's mail, and we'll get that out to you.
Okay.
I know she's got a note, she's got a note from when you called yesterday. She's waiting for bank statement. So, then we'll send that out to you, and, you'll have it right in front of you, so you could, make everything jive.
Well, but the dates here are just that you sent me. I mean, they came from somewhere.
Yeah, that was the online statement.
Okay, so you have a deposit here, incoming wire on.
You're talking to the wrong person on that, because I just did. In fact, that was the first email I have ever sent. I don't do that. Checker Flora takes care of that, so I don't even know what I sent you. I could look in the file, but I can't. I can't explain anything.
Well, all I'm saying, Tootie, is the one glaring discrepancy is the closing took place on October 5th. Okay. That's a fact. And you have a deposit here on October 3rd of $266,000 and change.
Okay.
And the balance in that account, I don't know if that's all related to us, $265,000. That was the balance as of October 25th, the date that you sent me this. And it's like, my understanding that the balance from the closing that goes to the the beneficiaries, whatever.
Right.
Was like around $245,000. So there's a humongous discrepancy, and I'm just bewildered and amazed that there wasn't an accounting that sent out automatically to us explaining what the amount was, where it is, what the interest rate is. If he wants it to go to some fund, that's a whole other issue. That's fine. I know it doesn't amount to a lot of money, but as I said originally, it was presumptuous on his part. And then when I requested an explanation, then he sends me an email and charges me $120 for the email, something that he should have sent me as a common courtesy. It's just, normal procedure. I'm flabbergasted by the whole thing. I really am. And then he continues, so now we're waiting another, this is how many weeks we're waiting for this statement now. What about the statement from last month? Why not send that? That statement you would have got that statement, middle of the month or whatever. It would have been after all this took place. I feel like something's being, a little fishy here.
I think that, the state, I don't know, but I'm thinking that the statement is from the first of the month to the from say the 1st to the 30th or the 31st. I don't know that.
Yeah,
but
I've never had, of all the banking I've done in my life, I've never had a statement come out on the first. Usually they're the middle of the month. There's always exceptions, I guess, and maybe that's the case here.
Depending on, I guess depending
But the fact that there are so many discrepancies, I would think he would want to go out of his way to give me some peace of mind here. What is wrong with this man? Is it me? When I ever request something, I don't get a response from him. I can list how many times I've asked for something, some information, and I don't even get the common courtesy to get a response from this man.
Dan, every time you get a response from him, you'll be charged.
Oh, so he's doing me a favor by not responding.
Well, I'm just stating that.
I know what you're saying. I'm being sarcastic.
I mean, every time, and he tries to keep he tries very hard to keep everyone's, billing low. If it's not something that is absolutely, it's essentially important.
Was it was it really required that he sends me an email which took him 5 minutes to compose $120? I mean, that was a slap in the face. It was information he should have provided to me, as a matter of course, as a common courtesy after the closing. Some figures. This is what you can expect. This is the time frame you can expect. This money's going into escrow. You should, there should be, it'll clear in 3 months typically. Nothing. Not a stinking word from the guy. Outrageous. And he's working for me. I mean, does he have any conscience?
Dan, now settle down.
No, Judy, I won't, because I'm outraged by this guy.
And I don't know how to put. I don't want to insult you, but he's got other clients also, so he's got other matters to tend to. So.
Well, good for him. Bully for him.
Well, and I mean, I understand your frustration, but I believe he explained this to you before.
He has explained nothing.
And the judge's order, about having the bond and everything.
I never get an explanation for the bond. I don't understand that. It's because I live out of state. Okay, that's the explanation. Okay, I'm supposed to accept that. Okay, I did. I let that go. What about what about the fact?
When you have a probate and there's estates, etc., we have one that's going on for 2.5 years. So I mean, nothing. This is not going to be solved in 3 or 4 months. I mean, this is so you need to hold on and just make yourself understand that this is not a quick process here when you have to go to probate. Probate takes a while, and I know it's pins and needles because I would feel the same way if it were me. I understand that. But it's not going to be over by the end of the year, or possibly into the first few months of the year. So just you've got to understand that this all takes time.
Yeah, so that the courts and the attorneys can make money. I understand
there's nothing,
that.
Yeah, and there's nothing we
drag it out as long as possible so that everybody. So we're a cash cow for the courts and the attorneys.
Florida law. Yep,
yeah,
this is Florida law.
Well, that's why.
It's different than other states, and you know what? If you were an attorney, you'd feel different, just as I would too.
But it still doesn't change the fact that when I have requested information from him, he is withholding information that it should have been provided to us in a as a common courtesy. I shouldn't have to request where our money is, what the amount is, what the interest rate is, that it's going to be donated to something, the interest.
I'm getting the feeling that you don't trust Chuck.
I don't trust Chuck. That is absolutely right, and my family doesn't. And that's a terrible situation that he himself has created. He could have put my mind at ease had he answered.
You're the first. I'll be honest with you. You're the first person in 8 years that I have spoken to that has said that.
And you think I'm like out of left field with this? The dates don't match up. The numbers don't match up.
Where do you? Okay, as I said, I don't do the bill. I don't take care of anything monetary, so I have no idea what you're talking about. That's not,
Well, what would you think, Tootie? Just as an example, there's a deposit here for $266,000 on October 3rd, and the closing didn't take place until October 5th. An explanation. That's all I asked. He won't give me that. He won't tell me what the amount represents. There's a balance in there of $265,000 as of October 25th. Is that ours? There's no explanation. That's not a difficult task to do. Say, Dan, this is what you're going to get when probate clears. Very easy.
Just hearing, the figures that you're saying, I would assume that the $266,000 was what was wired in for the closing.
Okay.
Now that's right off the top of my head.
That
was
possible.
What was wired in, and then whatever the expenses from the closing, therefore that was the extra approximately $20,000.
And he wrote out a couple checks on the 10th and 11th for $7,800. That was probably to the realtors. That's what I'm assuming.
I would guess commission, sure.
But then it leaves
No, there's title costs. There's
I understand all
filing
that.
fees. Yeah, there's all that.
But if you go by the closing documents, we should have had $245,000 in change. That's what should have been the net proceeds to the.
Right. And what do you have? What do you have that I sent you?
All this has is current balance in that estate fund, that estate trust account it's called, real estate trust account, and the current balance as of October 25th is $265,437.58.
Okay, then that's before they deducted all the checks were cashed, is what I would assume.
No, that they were done on the 7th, the 11th, and the 10th. This date is October 25th. Current balance.
All I can do is leave the message for Flora and for him, and have someone get back to you next week. That's the best I can do for you, because as I said, I don't do that. But just listening to what you're saying is the deductions for all of the costs of the closing.
Yeah, and then there was the other matter of there was a problem with the deed, the original deed. Now, the title company is at fault for this. The title company that my father dealt with, and there was no follow-up to that. So I have to pursue that myself to try to because he charged us, a lot of money to do that. He did it. Okay, God bless him. He did that. He took care of it so that the closing took place. But we absorbed all that, $3,000 or something because of a mistake the title company made. And I would have appreciated some direction on that. He could have said, well, if you call the title company, maybe you can recoup that, or else if you want me to do that. But there was nothing. It's just like everything's matter of fact, and I need this money for that, and this and that, boom, 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 boom. Never any explanations. And I you know what, Tootie? At this point, I don't even care. I really don't even care because I just have no. I don't want nothing to do with this guy. If I fired him back when I was still there, I fired him back then. I don't know if it was you that I said he's done. We're done. And then all of a sudden, the first time he gets on the phone, like nothing happened, and it's like I didn't have any recourse. And that's the only reason I've stayed with him all this time, because there's not another attorney available down there that knows anything. So I was stuck with him. And I'm still stuck with him, and I'm going to ride it out. But I ain't happy about it. And I still want to see that statement.
All right. I will make sure that I put that in capital letters.
I appreciate that, Tootie. And once again, I apologize to you.
I know.
But I have no use for this man. And I'm sorry you got to work for him.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. So, all right, Dan. I will put that in the message.
Thanks, Tootie. You have a good day. I'll see you. Bye.
Bye-bye.